to the Mad Rat House again today. We're going for part 2 of this journal page, which is actually part 3 of today's stream. We did a Happy Mail segment in the middle because Miss Jean is dead to the world, I think, so she's not streaming today. So to fill up some of her time before Kerry has said she will come on. Fingers crossed for that. I'm going to carry on with this mess. Not quite sure how it's going to end up, but hey, we're going to attempt to, and they're the smallest scissors I could find. I do have smaller ones, but can I find them? No. I'm going to try and cut this a bit closer and paint it in and get it on the page and then go from there. Well, actually, I haven't even finished it, have I? Ah. Let's cut and then finish and then stick. That's the plan. Cut, finish, stick. Where do I start? There, I guess. I need to recruit a personal assistant to fussy cut things for me. I don't know, the Cameo machines and things, can they do things like that? If, I don't know, I guess they can't cut colouring book pages and things out, can they? Without some fancy programming and files and things. That's a shame. That's what I'd love, a machine that you can just, I don't know, I guess get a special marker pen or something to and draw around where you want it to cut and put it in and it'll cut it. That would be a good idea. It might already exist, or I might just have invented something there, but how you would implement it, I have no idea. But that would be a good idea for me. A bit like when you I don't do it personally because I don't have a tablet, like a graphics tablet, but when you see artists making thumbnails and when you do digi stuff, when you cut around the picture, you draw around the outside of the picture and then tell it to delete the background. Something like that, but cuts, actual paper would be so cool. It might be easier with a craft knife, I guess, but I don't have a cutting mat or a good track record with sharp objects. A Brother Machine Scan and Cut will do it. Oh wow, I've never heard of one of those, so there is something out there. Bet it's out of my price range though, or even if it's not, I can't get it here. Or it would be too big and cumbersome for me to put anywhere. There's always a reason why I can't get something. Jean hates Brother stuff. I've had some Brother stuff that's not too bad. I can't remember what I've had. I had a Brother typewriter, electric typewriter back in the day. That was good. I'm not sure what happened to it, mind, but it was a very basic one, but yeah, it did what it needed to do. Doesn't matter if there is some whiteness around it and that, because we can blend it in and I'm not too precious about my journals, as you can see. Otherwise I would have torn this out and started again. Though to be honest, if I wasn't on stream I probably would have done that and had a tantrum to boot. I'm going quiet now because I'm trying to concentrate to get in lines and not chop my fingers off. Well, that might be good entertainment. I can actually see the risotto not happening tonight now, though. By the time I finish this and streaming. Oh, I just cut off some of the black that I liked. Never mind, I can put more black outline around it, can't I? Yeah, it might be something. Although risotto isn't too involved, really. It's the standing there, isn't it? Stirring it. No, we see. The bacon does need using up. This rate, it might just be bacon sandwiches. Gosh, this is going to take forever. I really wanted to be all prepared for this week's stream and page, and that's why I started colouring it the other night, and I was colouring it some yesterday, and then I started doing that other one in case I wanted that, but I don't think I do. Well, I don't know if I do or not now. No, I've done some of the shading on this. Then I was hoping to get home in time to cut it out, but no. I managed to do it roughly enough so we could see what it looked like to see various versions of things and ideas. Nowhere am I going to get all through all this little jaggedy bit and inside the petals of the mandala and things. I just have to be white and put some paint around them or something to blend it in. And the same with all these bits. Nowhere am I going to get these bits all cut out. Not without an X-Acto knife and lots of pain and blood and mess. I'll probably end up chopping the bits off that I like too. Oh, come apart, please. Thank you. If you talk to it, it helps. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. How close can I get? Oh, do silhouettes do things like that too, Dorothy? Oh, cool. Okay, cutting out. I should really stop using colouring books really in my stuff because cutting out is so damn difficult for me and it takes so long and it's not something you want to see on stream. Like with that Skelly girl, it took me forever and a day to cut her out, didn't it? Like watching paint dry. But hey, this is a bonus stream, so it is what it is. I am trying. Very trying. Yeah, I think Jean's asleep. Jean's fallen asleep after her MLD. Well, depending on how long Kerry streams for, there's still time for her to stream yet, because I think the window between Jean's normal stream and Jen's stream is quite a big one. So if she wanted to, there would still be time for her tonight too, I would imagine. I'm sure it's at least 2:30, sometimes 3 a.m. here before Jen comes on. So if Kerry's going to stream at 9 p.m, you can't see her wanting to stream for 5 hours, especially when she had a sore throat yesterday, which she might still have or not. So there's possibly time for Jean too. For a while, Shauna started streaming after Jean, didn't she? She did about 2 weeks and then she's disappeared again. I haven't seen Shauna in a long time, so I don't know whether she's got internet issues or she's just very busy. I think she just moved house, hasn't she? So maybe that's it. Maybe she's got internet issues or she's just super duper busy with the new house. Or computer issues or something. I don't know. Be getting there. So yeah, talk amongst yourself. I bet everybody's gone for their afternoon nap, haven't they? Apart from my faithful few. But I don't blame them in the slightest. An afternoon nap is much better than an Emma stream. In fact, there's not much that an afternoon nap isn't better than, actually. How close can I get that chain? How close do I want to get? I don't want to cut the chain off because I like it. But it's awkward, and I'm not going to cut in. I'm definitely not going to get any of that out in the middle of that chain. That would just be silly. You haven't got another 3 years to sit here anyway. Oh, welcome back, Ellie. What have you got for lunch? Laura's got an English muffin. Well, actually, maybe I don't want to know because I'm getting hungry now. No, that's good because that will kick my butt then, won't it? To make me actually cook the risotto, because I've been fancying risotto for so long and I can't have risotto in restaurants anymore because it's all got dairy in. My only option is to make homemade, and I've had risotto. Well, risotto rice is always in the cupboard. The bacon's been sat there, and I've got peas in the freezer. I'm not sure if I've got any onion actually though. But I know I do have leek, so we might just have to have a leek base. Suzanne's working. What's Ali got? A bagel with cream cheese and turkey lunch meat and Coca-Cola. Oh, yum. Oh, pardon me. I've got a new cream cheese type thing to try. Going to try it for try and do a sort of mac cheese type thing that I do over the weekend with it. I put some gammon usually in there and some leeks and some peas and what other veg are lying around. I am a cola fan. It doesn't have to be Coca-Cola, it can be any cola. It can be Pepsi, own brand, whatever. If it's cola, I'll have it. Hi, Sandra. Oh, and Dorothy's having a pasta dish ready meal for dinner. Yeah, it's 10 to 7 here, CB. So it'll be dinner for Dorothy. Actually, Andrew still isn't home, so I'm not quite sure where he is. His phone call was quite cryptic. He didn't say much, so... How are you, Sandra? I did pop into your stream last night, but I couldn't get it to log in properly, and then it did eventually, and then I fell asleep. But I did see the start, and that book is so adorable. And all those little starfish and everything, they're so cute. Oh no, what happened to your Holman pencils? Obviously something you've got a sad face. Suzanne loves Coke, she doesn't drink it. I don't get that. You're gonna have to explain to me, Suzanne. My brain's not working properly at this time of night. After being up for well over 12 hours now. Waiting to hear what happened to Sandra's pencils. Her $1 million jewel encrusted, all singing, all dancing, does the colouring for you pencils. Oh, what? If they're in the US, they're illegally and they are toxic. Oh my gosh. What are you going to do? Are you going to keep them, or are you going to send them back and get your money back? Although is that toxic if eaten or toxic if on skin? Or because if it's only toxic if they're eaten, then I'd be inclined to keep them, because obviously you're not gonna eat it. Oh, I see, you're a recovering Coca-Cola addict, Suzanne. I've done that a couple of times. I've gone cold turkey and weaned myself off, but I always end up falling off the wagon. Always do. True that, Dorothy. Yep, water is toxic if you drink enough. I'd be inclined to ask him, Sandra, where he got this information from, and to ask to see the whatever study or test have been carried out on them myself, and get an informed opinion. Maybe run it past our Dr. Dorothy here. She's a clever doctor scientist, so she probably could tell you exactly what's what. From his Holborn rep. Or is it just maybe that they've got something in them that's illegal in the US but not necessarily toxic? It's like we've got different regulation, different things that you can have in your cosmetics and things over there, and foods and whatnot, banned in the EU. So they would be classed as illegal here and maybe classed as toxic, but they're not. They're perfectly fine. It's just that the governing bodies here have decided that we're not to have them, whereas millions of Americans, Canadians, people outside the EU are eating them and using them just fine. I suppose you could always contact them, Z, and see if you could get some sort of refund. Not to give them back, but some sort of discount due to the issues. See if you can wangle some of the money back, because then you'd have the fancy new pencils and some pennies. I'd be inclined to try that, but then I'm a bit of a chancer. Well, 20 years, Suzanne. Yeah, no, I can't do 20 days these days. Never mind 20 years. Yeah, definitely see if they can knock some money on. Every little bit helps, doesn't it? They might tell you to either return the pencils or to get lost, but you don't know if you don't try, do you? I'd be inclined to keep the pencils if you love them. And they do look good. I saw Cass use hers, and they do look good. I could never afford them in quite a few years, but yeah, as long as you don't eat them or use them as eyeliner or anything, I'd be inclined to think that they're fine. And he's Mr. Rep's just scaremongering for no reason. And I would definitely be interested to see his sources and the studies that have been carried out that suggest that they're toxic, and what toxins it suggests that they've got in them. And why it's okay for the rest of the world to have toxic pencils in that case, but just not for you guys, which is crackers. Yeah, I'm more inclined to think it's just the different rules and regulations of ingredients, like we have here with a lot of American imports. Like there's some food colouring you guys have in America. Like I can't remember what they're called. I think they're called Americolour actually. And they do really bright, vivid colours and neons and everything. And they're technically illegal here. Well, certainly are if you use them for. You can't use them for commercial. I think you can import them and use them for your own use, you know, sort of like at your own risk. But you definitely, when I was in business, I definitely couldn't use them because the ingredients were here in the EU were banned. But the millions of Americans that use them and consume them every day aren't dropping dead, so they're not dangerous. Just a silly rule. Oh yeah, it could be the cadmium. But yeah, artists have been using cadmium for years, and there still is cadmium in a lot of oils and acrylics and things, isn't there? So oh yeah. No, I say keep the pencils, but if it's their rep saying that and they think they have proof, I would try and see if you can be cheeky and get a bit of money knocked off. Why not? Worth a try. Then you can buy more art supplies or more flowers or anything else. Oh, I know, Suzanne. I know. Oh, sorry. Was it a secret that you Americans don't know? Oops. Well, I'm saying that here, if you a certain red-topped newspaper that I absolutely despise reports weekly that something different will give you cancer. There's a list of like 30. There's a YouTube parody on it. All the things that this certain newspaper says will give you cancer, and it's ridiculous. And before long, we won't be able to do anything but exist in a glass box, and even that'll be dangerous. A liquor called Fireball. Never heard of it, but sounds like it might be something serious similar to our Jägermeister craze that's going on amongst the youngsters and Jaeger bombs and that sort of thing, but obviously much more potent. God, this cutting is ridiculous. Yes, I know you're there. It's not time for you yet. The rats are getting impatient because they've been watching their little clock, I think, and they know that at 6 o'clock on Thursdays, they usually get to bumble around Mummy's desk for 10 minutes or whatsoever. But it's not time for you yet, babies. I think it's crazy for you guys as well. Over different states have different rules. You're all the same country, but different state. That must be so confusing, especially if you're regularly sort of travelling. Say you live in one state and work in another because you're close to the border or something. Being careful that you're not advertently taking anything illegal over the border, you know, or if you're visiting people in another state often and. Well, You went to sleep. Right, that's as fussy. Oh no, that's not as fussy as we're getting. I will cut through there and cut that bit out, and then when I glue it on, I shall glue it back together so it looks like it's supposed to have never been cut. That's a DD trick I picked up. I think it was DD. You're waiting for the bit, Petka. No, Sandra. Well, we don't think Jean's streaming. She went for an appointment this morning. She tweeted saying that she needs to try not to fall asleep. And we've all tweeted her to see if she's streaming, if she's awake, and no reply. So she must have fallen asleep. Kerry's going to come on at 4 Eastern. So I'm just doing, I was going to save part 2 for next week, but carrying on to do some part 2 because I'm still home alone. Andrew, I don't know where he is actually. I'm supposed to check my phone really, shouldn't I? See if there's any messages on it. Yep, none from Andrew, so I'm not quite sure where he is, but I'm sure he's fine. And do a bit more to fill in the gap a bit. Okay, I got off to a bad start with this one. I had a vision and I started doing, well, I didn't have a vision. That's more to the point. And I started doing stuff and then it looked like a toddler had done it. So, pardon me, I got frustrated and snapped a napkin over it. And this is where we're at. But you can see a lot of the stuff in real life. You can see a lot more stuff in the background. You're going to miss Kerry, are you, Laura? You have company tonight. Oh, talk of the devil. Here he is. Here's Andrew. Hi, Darla. Right. Before I think about sticking him down, though, I need to finish the shading and paint the clock. I can actually probably paint the clock when he's on there. So I am going to visit these potty people again. They keep calling for me today. I've got no business calling for me. I'm busy. But yeah, so I'm going to go and do that quickly, and then I shall be back. And I made a BRB sign earlier, didn't I? But I've lost that now. Oh my god, my desk is yeah, I don't even have words to describe it. But be right back. If you're by some miracle watching the recording, please fast forward. Are you okay? You're late. What did you need me for? I'm back. Turn the heating up too, it's getting chilly. Put the curtain down, that'll help. I'm Emma, Darla, Mad Rat Lady. Emma, it's me. over in England, Oxford, UK. This isn't my time to stream at all. This is Jean's time, but Jean's sleeping, so I decided to carry on with a bit of encouragement. And then Kerry will be on at 4 Eastern. I'm not sure I can keep going all the way up until Kerry, because 9 o'clock's my apprentice TV time. And I have to do dinner yet. So we're working on a journal page that went wrong and was a comedy of errors, but hopefully we can save it. So I just need to finish shading the Rosie. Yeah, the babies will come out right when I'm finished. They're not coming out now because they will interfere, and they will chuck everything everywhere, and they will climb on everything, and they're badly behaved. And Lilifer, such named because it sounds like Lucifer. She's earned her name well and truly in the rat elections that are going on here. It's been a little nightmare just lately. To her sister, to her cage mate, although Iris gives as good as she gets, but Lilifer is a pain in the behind. No, I've never been to Lakenheath either. And I'm saying that, I've lived in England all my life, and I've never been to half the places that I would have liked to or I should have done. Hope you can. Unfortunately, my camera isn't very clear today. It doesn't seem to want, although this was only a cheapy stopgap, it doesn't seem to want to focus too much. But I think you get the gist. And hopefully 2017 will be the year of the nice camera when, fingers crossed, I go back to work if mum's surgery does happen this side of Christmas and isn't it a success and enables her to be more independent and to cut down on the amount of appointments we need to go to and things. Otherwise I would be taking time off left, right and centre. And that's without considering my own health, that they have to by law adjust for, but they don't have to by law adjust for appointments for other people and what have you. So it was easier for me to take a sabbatical. Just using my little packet of Prismacolor, the manga set, because I'm too lazy to get my big roll out of Marco's, and that's that here. And I started using them with it fine, so that's what I'm doing. Poppy Red, that's not the one I was using. There it is. Yeah, rat babies, baby rats. Owl, I haven't seen the owl. Yeah, US base. A lot of our military bases, we've just heard in the news that they're closing, especially around here. We've got lots of bases around here, all different military, and a lot of them are closing down, both British ones and US ones, to make way for, I think they're trying to condense them into some super bases or something, although these are pretty big. So over the next few years, we're going to lose a lot of our bases. And a lot of the towns that rely on the military population for sort of income, you know, the shops and what have you, are gonna struggle. And that's been the big thing this week. That's been, of course, because of the bigger news that's happening elsewhere in the world. It's kind of under the radar slightly a bit, so they're getting less press than they would otherwise. Hi, Di. They don't have to be perfect. I just didn't want them. I coloured these, the flat colours all done with Sharpies because that's what was to hand, and you do it with paint, then I like the dottiness. I suppose it's like a rough tattoo style. Um, considering it's from a book of tattoo designs. Um, but yeah, I didn't want all the lines covered up, and washes tend to dull the lines quite a bit. So I just went for Sharpies because that's what was under my nose, and didn't need getting too much out to collect them. On my impromptu on Tuesday night where I was trick-headed, I thought I'd get it all done in that brief stream, and did I? No. I waffled for God knows how many hours and messed around as usual. And I've been trying to finish it, but I haven't got it finished. Yeah, I do colour quite a lot, Darla. Quite a bit. I've got a few colouring books on the go. Not as much as I would like to. I tend to jump from project to project. And I also started doing that. I suddenly realised that I might want something else to balance this out on the next page. So I quickly, it's not finished yet again, but I quickly started laying the colour down on that bit. That bit there is finished. In the same limited colour palette. But whether I use it or not is another thing. But at least it's there. The majority of it's done. If obviously I need to shade it if I want to keep it, but if not, it can be used on another page somewhere else. But yeah, I do like to colour. And I also draw and paint and journal and you name it, I do it. None of it very well because I flit around so much and I've got quite a short attention span. That's why I like to stream and I actually get a good chunk of something done, you know, because otherwise if it was just me, I would have, and often do, get up and wander off and then come back and think, oh, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do something else and start on something else. I need some, not that you can really see any of this shading on camera very well, but you can see more of it in real life. Maybe next year when I get the better camera where you can do another flip and you can see it better. Try and take a picture of it too, that might, when it's done, that might show off the colours a bit better. I've got my camera colour level quite saturated because it was just really flashing everything out completely, and now I think it might be a bit over the top, but hey ho. Yeah, Suzanne, there's been a joke going around that this week would be primarily yesterday would be a good time for our PM to trigger Article 50, which takes us out of the EU, and nobody would notice until it's too late. Obviously, she can't do that because we just had a ruling by our Supreme Court that they have to get Parliament's approval before Article 50 is triggered, and now they're going back to contest that in December. So it's a bit of a stalemate at the minute, but if it was that simple for us to do it, they're right, it would have been a good time to do it. And all the world's eyes were over the pond. And what do you have for lunch today, BG? Every time I'm hungry when I'm questioning everybody's food. You have Pasta with chicken broth. Yum. I keep saying I want to make some chicken stew and chicken soup, not chicken soup, chicken soup. If it's chicken, there's a problem with it, isn't there? Probably not safe to eat. But I keep not getting around to it. And I actually have loads of vegetables in the. You talking to me? What? I'll be in a minute. Loads of vegetables kicking around the kitchen to make into a soup, which I will do, but no chicken. So yeah, that won't be a chicken soup without a chicken, will it? The greens aren't. That's the wrong blue. I'm going to need to blend that out now. Oh, I rub it off. I can on that. I need to darken it with blues and reds rather than. I love my rubbing pencil. I still haven't tried the Staedtler one, but the Faber-Castell one, rubber pencil, is absolutely. Sorry, eraser pencil for you guys. My rubber word use caused much hilarity in, I think it was Jean's stream the other night. Oh no, it was Janet's. It was Janet's. I just can't for the life of me call them erasers. Or remember to. What did Suzanne have? 2 small baked potatoes with olive oil, butter, and real sour cream. Oh, sour cream. I miss proper sour cream so much. I found an alternative that's made with coconut, but it's not the same. Not the same. Do you need me, babe? I should probably put a different page under there because that's a journal page that I'm going to draw on otherwise. That one's not really showing up, is it? That one's. I need a mid blue. I think I'm going to have to resort to using the red to do the bit of definition on these. There's my copy. Something I only learnt recently, you know, that you can use to shade a colour. You use the opposite colour on the colour wheel. So that's my newly learnt secret, if you will. I've been trying to put into practice when I remember it. Then I'll go back over with the green or whatever and blend it out. Doesn't have to be perfect, I just want to make it not so flat. Sorry, off camera, forgot I'd zoomed in. Oh, no problem, Rue. Night night if you fall asleep. Thank you for coming. Lakes. No, I don't think Land of Lakes is a brand that I recognise here. Probably not. Everything yummy you guys talk about, we don't have here usually. It's usually on one of the banned lists, or we just don't have it. Or if we do have it, it's imported, so it costs 6 arms and a leg. Blend the green out, the red out, so it doesn't actually look red. It darkens it. not on camera for that bit. Keep forgetting that I've zoomed in. That bit's annoying me. That bit's looking too red. There's my blue. That's better. I see. It only shows up red on the black line. I see. No, it didn't show up red earlier, but I see now that it's on the black line that it's showing up red. Put blue on it to cancel that out. Well, thank you, Di. It's comparable to Plugra. I have no idea what that is either, Suzanne. This is my regular day, Darla, but it's usually 10:30 Eastern till 1 Eastern, and then Jean takes over. But Jean didn't today, so I was trigger-headed into, I mean strongly encouraged into staying on. So I did for a while. Right. There's that. Let's see what else. What else have I missed up on while I've been? 17 viewers. Look at me getting all the ratings, eh? Suzanne loves butter but has to cut back. I'm allergic to dairy, so and it's quite a new allergy. I've been intolerant for years, but it's really ramped up, so I've had to go completely dairy free in the past 3 months. Because the allergy is so bad now. So I'm investigating all alternatives and trying to get back, because I love dairy, love cheese, love butter, sour cream, you name it. But obviously I can't, it's not worth it, right, if it makes me so sick that I can't get out of bed. So yeah, I'm trying to find vegan and non-dairy alternatives, and I found quite a few things so far. A few fails, but quite a few things. Laura, I just lost 25 pounds. I don't know what 25 pounds, what is there? There's 14 pounds to a stone. And that's, so nearly 2 stone then. Well done, that's good going. I lost 4.5 stone. I don't know what pounds that is. You have to work it the other way. 14 pounds to a stone. It was over 4.5 stone I lost back in 2012, and then I stopped going to my slimming club, and I think I put it all back on, and possibly some more. But yeah, although since cutting out dairy, I think I've lost a few pounds. I've not weighed myself in a long time, so I couldn't tell you what it was to start with. But I think I've lost a few pounds from quitting dairy. So hopefully in the new year I'll go back to a slimming club or go it alone or something, and get back on the wagon. But at the minute life's too stressful as it is, so I've just been telling the other girls that were here earlier, I'm telling you now too, Andrew, that Mum's operation, we had the pre-op today, it should be before Christmas. So hopefully in 2017 I can get back to work and get some sort of normality back to my life.
You gonna take that or not?
No, but we're on the cancellation list too. And the consultant, the registrar, was pretty much adamant that it'd be before Christmas because we've been cancelled so many times. So she said, hypothetically, I mean, it's not going to be, you know, it's not going to be, but hypothetically, you know, it could be tomorrow if they have a cancellation. I doubt they will, because people don't cancel often, because these operations are so sought after and so life changing. The hip replacement is that she's having, you know, and people wait so long as it is that I don't think, unless people are ill or, you know, otherwise engaged, people don't tend to cancel them that often, which is understandable.
Would you record the thingy for you?
Record what? It'll do it anyway, it should do. Alright. Yes, then please. I would have finished in time for Apprentice. We'll get in there, girlies. And then we have to sort out the hot mess of the page. Not doing any super fancy shading, just a few bits here and there. Obviously I can't do it so much in situ now. I've put the napkin down, which was my original plan. If I wanted more, I would probably stick it down first and then go back and colour later if I wanted to, but now I've gone with a napkin. I think not possibly. I'm aware that you probably can't see what I'm doing because my hand's over it. But, I don't have a trippy tripod to get him down on. Maybe I'll invest in one of those after the new year once I've got my mitts on a super duper camera. Until then, there's not much point anyway because it's not going to make you see any better. It just blurs as you get closer. Hey, at least you can see me, and it's better than the phone because I can see what I'm doing when I'm doing it, so I can tell if I'm completely off screen within a few seconds rather than in a few minutes like before. And I can see if we've stopped recording. I don't carry on and talk to myself for 20 minutes or so like I did the first stream that I ever did, without realising that it stopped recording again. Yeah, people are having so much food allergies, or I don't know if people are having more food allergies or whether people just know more about it so they know what to look for. I'm not sure which, but apparently having problems with dairy and I thought I had problems with gluten for a long time. But since I stopped having dairy stuff with the gluten, I'm absolutely fine. So it was actually dairy all along. But thinking about it, if I had pizza, I'd have cheese on the pizza, so that's dairy. If I had a sandwich or whatever with bread, I'd have butter on the sandwich, so there's the dairy. So it was the dairy that was doing it. I'm not actually got a problem with gluten at all. The -1 is fine though, Laura. It doesn't affect what you're doing. Oh, thank you, CB. They're just very basically shaded, just to get a bit of gradient, a bit more interest. But yeah, you can still talk fine, and well, I quite often have a -1 because Ustream's right in a fit, and logs me out or whatever, but it doesn't matter. Unless it bothers you, of course, then obviously by all means sort it out, but it doesn't affect your viewing experience or anything, or your interactions. Not even sure if this is going to show up well enough, but I'm not even on camera, so you don't know what I'm doing. Keep forgetting I've zoomed in, and if I don't zoom in, you're not going to see anything anyway, but I don't think this makes enough of a difference for you to see. That one I did, didn't I? No. My peach is the only one that's even remotely used. Like, it's getting much smaller than all the others. All the others, I've neglected them loads. Well, first of all, when I first got these, because this is the only Prismas I've got, is the manga set. I did use them. I used them quite a bit, but sparingly, because I was afraid, because they're so expensive pencils, I'm afraid to waste them. I only use them like in my good books, like in my Harry Potter. And then I got some colour rays, so I used them indiscriminately with that. And mix and match, and then I went to using the colour rays more than these because colour rays are cheaper, right? So I didn't mind wasting them. And then I got the Marcos for my birthday last May, and pretty much ditched the Prismacolors because I love my Marcos, but I was too lazy the other night to get the whole roll out. So I started with these because these were sitting on my desk open. And so I've started, so I will finish. I do like Prismacolor. I am quite tempted by the cheapness of the sets that they've got now, that maybe at some point I might get a Prismacolor set, but or maybe place, because some of my Marcos are quite well worn down, and you can't buy those on open stock. You can only buy a whole new set, which I probably wouldn't, at least not yet, because I mean, because some of the colours in it are hardly touched, whereas my favourites are obvious because they're worn right down, right? Yeah. Oh, I've got over that in a minute. Let's put some more brown in there. Well, I might consider trying to replace them with the Prismas. And try Prismas for a while, and then if I still prefer Marcos, get another set of Marcos. Because they're actually about the same price at the moment. Ironically, back when my Marcos were purchased and last Christmas and that, they weren't, were they? Prismacolor were. What kind of markers? Oh, Marcos. Marco Refine pencils, they're called. MARCORAFFINE, I think. They're a cheaper brand of pencil, but I really like them, and they blend really nicely for me. So I love them. I don't have the box anymore. I emptied them into a big wrap. If you look at one of my other pictures, I think the ones that I did when I did the birds in the napkin journal, I was using them then. I had them. They're like a grey pencil with a coloured tip end. But I do love those. And welcome back, Dorothy. Yep, darling, you passed. You passed the test. I've lost my train of thought now, which happens all the time. Never mind. I'm sure I'll come back to it if it's important. Right, I think I'm going to paint the clock, and then we'll stick this bad boy down. Where's my pot? There's my paints. Oh. No, that's not going to work. One moment. I knocked them all over the sofa, didn't I? I remember now. Well, if I'm over there, if anybody's interested, this is the book that this image has come from. Tattoos Colouring Book for Grown-Ups, Anti-Stress. No idea who wrote it, who drew it even. Oh, there we go. Somebody in the Netherlands. Yep. It was in Poundland here in England. There's lots of cool things in there to do. And actually the paper's quite thick too. That one was a good buy. Some of them are a bit thin and rubbishy, but yeah. That's where it's from. Oh, I'm going to paint myself gold now. Not sure whether this is translucent enough. Let's find a brush. Sorry you're jiggling. Your lead is right by the my cup with paints in. Paint brushes in. Yeah, you look okay. Let's try it on yeah. Oh yeah, I think it's translucent enough, isn't it? Should give it a shine, and I can always do 2 layers if I need to, because I want it to cover but not mask it, if that makes sense. That's why I didn't use the gold or bronze Sharpie. I just did got a darker yellow to give this bit some definition. And then I was considering whether to do acrylic or pearlescent watercolour, but as you can see I've just gone for acrylic. This is one of my favourite acrylics. This is gold and shimmery and sparkly, and I have the silver too. So you're not going to be able to see my clock very well now because of the glare that it's going to put on it, but in real life you can still see it quite well. And I can always go over the black numbers and that with a pen if need be. I wanted some gold bling. You might well, yeah, I think I might well go back over with pen when it's all dry later and put the black details back in on top, so that even with the glare you can see the details again. I say in real life it's obvious, you can see it, but well, you can see it if I tilt it like that. Look, you can see the details still without the glare. And I could have gone in and out or between, but that's too much like hard work with painting when I can just go over the numbers again with black pen if I'm so way inclined. Maybe the outline of the filigree pattern that it's on there. I can use a smaller brush there. I'm going over. Not my long pokey. Don't look at my Vex brushes, I leave them in the water pots. Hi, Grammy. Yeah, I always sharpen mine loads too, Ali. I haven't at the minute because my sharpener's over by my sofa and I'm too lazy to go up and get it again. I'm just trying to get it done quickly, but ordinarily, yeah, I do sharpen them all the time, which is why my Marcos are eaten away. Although I have used them loads anyway. The 2 in-depth colour pages that I did for the colour page ATC swaps were both done with those, and a bit of acrylic and watercolour, but the bulk of it was done with colour pencil with those. And although I do the light pressure, lots of layers thing, it soon wears them down.
Some wonderful and some difficult. I very much look forward to dealing with the president in the future, including council.
Don't know what I'm going to do with the middle of this chain yet.
Explain some of the difficulties, some of the.
Maybe I might put a background around all of this to get it to pop out, and so I suppose I could paint the inside black if I choose to do that.
The high-flying assets and some of the really great things that have been achieved. So, Mr. President, it was a great honor being with you, and I look forward to being with you many, many more times in the future. Thank you, sir.
And I put out way too much gold, so I think I'm going to have to do something with the gold on the other side of the page to where this is going. Oh, putting my finger in the paint. Do you have to? I'm streaming. Andrew, do you have to? It's interfering. I don't want to hear that rubbish. There we go. Yeah, sometimes I look at Dee Dee when she's colouring with her colour pencils and she hasn't sharpened it and think, oh, that needs sharpening. I would have sharpened that. Which obviously isn't very good for your pencils if you're constantly sharpening them, is it? But that's just, especially with all the in-depth colouring books that we have with Magimorphia and such like, with all the little bits and that, you need the sharpened points, don't you? But then Dee Dee's got such control over the pencil that she could do completely blunt, couldn't she, and still come out with amazing results. Whereas I don't have that sort of control. I've got gold over here too. Oh, I can scratch it off, I think. Horrible feeling I put that other brush straight back in the pot covered in paint, didn't I? Oh no, I left it there. That's alright then. Right, dry that. No, it wasn't the TV, Ali. The TV's fine. The TV doesn't interfere, but he was streaming something on his phone, something to do with He Who Must Not Be Named on this stream today, which was a bit loud and not for here. Hi, Eileen. Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. I wouldn't worry, Jean's still dead to the world. That's how come I'm here. So you're doing better than Jean. Right. Noise. And again, sorry about the glare. In person, you can see just like that. You can see all the details through it. But obviously, with the glare, because the light's right above, but higher than the camera, that all you're getting is glare. But you can see the details and the shading underneath it in real life. Right. Let's go back to the page. What are we doing for time? Oh yeah, I've got about another half an hour. Oh, thank you, Eileen. It goes with the disaster of a journal page that I started that I've now slapped napkin all over. I'm to zoom you back out. So you can see. There we go. And we did offer, well, I did offer the stream time up to anybody who wanted it, Eileen. I did offer it to you, but we didn't hold our breath waiting for you to reply. Waiting for you to come and stream for us. But you can if you want to. I'll move over. I'll share. Right, so that's going there. I need to do something with the gold over here. I don't know what I'm going to do around it, but I'm going to go ahead and glue that down so it's down, and then I can choose what to do around it after that. A little glue brush. That's a glue brush. A glue brush that went yucky because it's just wood and I left it in the water. It still works fine. Just a bit discoloured. Bye, Laura. Have a good evening. What am I doing? That. And I'm experimenting with Mod Podge. I've been working on CB too. I really think CB should stream. I really think, well, we all do. We have so much we could learn from CB. Well, and you too. But it's fine because Jen's coming over in the new year, and I've tasked her. She's going to bring a big jug of that goon and her own laptop and camera, and she's going to stream you. We've been discussing tactics, and she's been told that she is not to return to Oz or to Ustream until she's managed to get you streaming. So you better clear out your spare rooms if you're not going to stream, because Jen's moving in. Yeah, I've never used it before, Dorothy. It was just a whim, because I've never had Mac Medium. I do everything on the cheap, and I've always just used PPA, and I water it down a bit if I need to, and that's fine. Well, it has been fine for me. It's worked just as well. in my opinion. Oh, that doesn't need to go there. But in Hobbycraft over on Halloween, in the run up to Halloween, they had these little tiny bottles on offer for doing their decoupage pumpkins and skulls and what have you, I guess. That's where it was anyway, next to all that in the Halloween aisle. So it was cheap, so I just grabbed it to try it because it's matte. And thought, well, that price I'll try it, and if I like it, then I like it. If not, then there's not a lot of harm done. And then maybe I'll eventually get round to splurging on, well, splurge, it's only about £12 or £13, isn't it, for a big jar of golden, but that's quite a lot of money to me at the minute. But I will get round to it, or some other matte medium. I don't know what other brands there are that are cheap, that are out there. So this is an experiment. Although it, well, if this goes yellow, it doesn't matter because it is yellow, and I've only got it on the back here. So besides which, it's only my art journal. I'm not overly precious with my art journal. I probably, if it was a big, because of what I've heard about the stickiness and it and everything, if it was a big, oh, I've lost my card that I was, my expired club card that I was using to smooth down. Yeah, if it was a big project, like a fancy project or anything, then no, I'd probably not use Mod Podge. I'd use something different. But no, I don't know where that's gone. How can things keep disappearing? It's only me sat here. Well, that explains it really, doesn't it? Might get going before. Never mind. If we get any bubbles, we get any bubbles. As it is, then I'm quite happy for a bit of yellow every now and then. Up for a bit of an experiment. Well, that didn't stick very well, did it? It's not done my edges. Put some in here. Water it down a bit. I think that's the issue with it not spreading very well. This stuff is very, very thick, much thicker than I have my PVA or I've seen anybody else's matte medium. It just dries too quickly. Maybe this paper is too heavy for Mod Podge. Maybe I should have just used my usual glue. It was sat here on my desk, so you don't try it, you don't know, do you? Yeah, I think that's probably what it is the paper's too heavy duty for it to want to stick it. Yeah, definitely not sticking it, is it? Where's my tacky? Let's go for that. Is that your new business plan, Irene? Is that what you're going to do to see you through your golden years? No, I've never had that worry, Ali, because I think if anybody wants to claim any of my stuff as theirs, they must be desperate. So fair play to them. Although I'm not overly good at posting, more because I forget. Like with Inktober, I started off posting every day, and then, well, I didn't end up doing a piece every day because I got busy and sick, and the ones I did do, I stopped posting after a while. That's because I just completed them, went on to the next page and forgot all about it. Yeah, Mod Podge definitely isn't good for sticking anything heavy down them. Only for, I suppose it's made for decoupage, isn't it? So that explains it. Okay, this, although it's a pound shop colouring book, it's actually quite thick paper. And I'm quite impressed with the paper. This glue isn't great either, if I'm honest. This is, I think this is Hobbycraft's own. It's Hobbycraft's own tacky glue. But yeah, in relation to Sandra's pencils, I said to her, I think she needs to keep them because she loves them, and it's probably something simple as the fact that whatever's in it isn't regulated in the US, but it's fine in the rest of the world, and we have that problem here all the time with food and cosmetics and things, that there's stuff that are illegal here, but it's completely legal elsewhere in the world, and you guys aren't dropping like flies using exactly the same, in consuming exactly the same products. But I think she should try and see if, in light of that, they would give her a partial refund or something, or refund and keep the pencils, or some money off at least. You know, you don't might tell her to go jump, but equally they might be spooked and give in, and anything for save a bit of money, right, and buy extra supplies. She could even buy extra flowers because she really, really, really needs new flowers, don't you, Zane? I think you sent me about 4, so that there's a hole for 4 more at least. Were you in Dee Dee's yesterday, Ali, when she was saying about this sort of thing? And she recommended, somebody's probably telling you this now, but I'm not looking so much. She was saying to include supplies and things in your pictures because it's harder to cut those out. But at the end of the day, if somebody's going to steal your art, if they're that determined, we had this in the cake community, they're going to do it no matter what you put on their water marks, supplies, or singing or dancing. But more fool them, because they're going to come unstuck when they're asked to recreate something. You know, if they're going to be stealing your art, you know, to advertise their art or something, you know, and they're commissioned to make something similar, they're just not going to be able to do it, are they? If it's your art, not theirs, they're not going to be able to do it. So they will get caught out. It happens so much in the cake. If you go on to, there's a blog called Cake Rex, and a lot of stuff is like Wally Mart cakes gone wrong and stuff, but a lot of those are clearly, you know, if they're from private companies, private people, they've obviously stolen somebody else's picture to advertise, and then they've been asked to recreate it, and then you should see what they end up with, because what they end up with is not like the picture. Because if it's stolen, you mustn't have the talent to do it, right? If you have got the talent to do it, then you wouldn't steal. Well, that's my take on it anyway. So it says more about them than it does about you. And it's actually quite flattering too when you think about it, that somebody thinks your art's that good that they want to, although it's annoying, that somebody thinks your art's that good that they want to claim it as theirs. It's a kind of a backwards compliment, isn't it? But yes, Dee Dee was saying, there's a big segment on it, Ali. She was saying that somebody stole all her videos on YouTube, or was in the process of stealing them and putting them on their account and monetizing them. She said last year or the year before. But she had to go through all and get it stopped. And she was saying similar to what I'm saying now, and I was adding my 2 pence worth of what I'm saying now in her stream. Exactly, Eileen. Yeah, exactly. If they think my art's good, then they're welcome to it, because most of the time I don't. Yeah, if they start to make millions, CB, yeah. I think I might go in for the claim then, but I can't see what anybody's going to do with my art, maybe apart from post it and ridicule it, but that's, you know, that's the risk you take. I can't see anybody gaining anything by stealing my art, put it that way. I mean, the only big one they gain is YouTube, isn't it? You know, I can see why they sold Edie's videos, sorry, because she gets a lot of hits, doesn't she? And her videos are good, and they're long, and you know, you monetize on YouTube, and it's easy money, especially if you're not making the videos yourself. You know, you're just stealing and putting it on and clicking the button and setting up the account to monetize them, then yeah, that's easy money. But just taking pictures of people's art, then there's not a lot to gain by that, because they won't be able to recreate it. Right. I need to do something on here, something to make that pop. I don't know if there's anything in my sticker book that could go across there. So, what could I go around the edge with? I know. I need to use this gold up too. I don't know whether to put some. I had here somewhere she says, although I know I've just kicked a load of stuff down between the desks. The desk and the unit. No, that's the sun. That's a splatty thing. I had a rose. Oh, there it is. So I could put some gold roses. Let's try that. Let's try that. You don't know unless you try, do you? Let's try it. What colour did I have that dry? Use that end. Yeah, watermark then, and date stamp it. Make sure you date stamp it too, and maybe include some tiny detail in there or something that is only known to you. Something, maybe think of a quirk or something that you could work into every single piece you do that only you would know is there. like a deliberate error or something that artists sometimes put in, which then could be used, should there ever be a case, to prove that it's yours. Because obviously the thief wouldn't know about that. Yeah, the watermark can easily be removed if they're determined. If you include something in your work, say something that becomes your signature, say a certain, I don't know, sequence of letters somewhere in it, if you're like doing graffiti stuff, or I don't know, maybe a certain animal that's always in your work, or something tiny that's hidden somewhere, but you could pick out in all your pieces. You know, that a thief wouldn't know is there to pick out. That can help you, if should it need to go to court. Obviously, I'm not an intellectual property lawyer. But the thing is, as well, is if you don't share, then you're never going to get anywhere, because the only way you're going to get anywhere is by sharing and getting constructive feedback, and to get your name out and your work out there to get noticed. You know, it's not going to earn you anything or get you any following or anything sat in a folder on your computer, is the way I see it. So it has to be it's a risk, but it needs to be a calculated risk, depending on what you want to do at the end of it all. And obviously, if you're in art school or whatever, then you'll get or you're taking online classes with a qualified tutor or something, you'll get in critique and feedback from that. Then you don't need to share. But if you're just a sort of self-taught, stay-at-home learning artist, then it's probably a good idea to get your stuff out there, if that's what you want to do. I mean, there are some more secure. There's a Facebook page that Galena set up, self-taught artists, I think. When I finish this, I'll find it and link it. Which is mainly us Ustreamers. So that's although it's not very active, but that's quite secure. I think it's a private group where you can get feedback, you know, just from peers. And again, the Art Journal YouTube Facebook page, the Art Journal Techniques page that we've got. I think Eileen might be a mod on there. I'm not sure. Again, that's getting it out there, but more secure if it's the feedback that you're after. Obviously, if it's exposure, then that's not going to go that far. Okay, Sandra, thank you for coming. See you later. Most of your digital stuff is projects from school. Oh. So yeah, so maybe it's not the feedback you want then, it's the exposure then, I guess, isn't it? So I suppose watermarking and maybe a hidden something or other in it that only you know's there, like a deliberate mistake or something. And getting it on Instagram is the way to go if you want to build up a name for yourself and get your name out there. Or make a YouTube, or YouTube's are a bit more secure because you have the YouTube tools to help you. As Gigi was saying, they're lengthy, but there's the forms and their legal bods to help you fight theft and copyright. So although people can steal your videos and will, and if you've got a big enough following or they see you as easy money, it's more secure in that you've got help. Whereas if somebody tries to steal it on other places, other platforms, it's pretty much a case of you're on your own. Am I right, Andrew?
What?
You're not listening to me.
No.
Like Andrew teaches intellectual property. He teaches business and IT, so he does some in intellectual property, don't you?
Yeah, why? What's the question?
About ways of Ali here. She does digital art. I'm just laying your question to Andrew, Ali, because he'll say he lectures in
Is she in the UK or US?
US intellectual property. Ways of putting digital art on social media about it getting stolen.
Put a copyright on it. So
Yeah.
put some on there.
But they can take that off, can't they? But I'm saying with hidden quirks and things, and using
Yeah, or a pattern or something like that.
yeah, and using something like YouTube or something where they've got good legal support to help you should your stuff get stolen.
Yeah.
But other things like Instagram, I think, is a free for all, isn't it? And
No, you can still do stuff on there.
and things and
Pinterest.
yeah, anyone can. That's the sad truth, isn't it, of this day and age. Anyone can steal anything, and they do. But if you lived your life in fear of that, then you wouldn't go out, would you? You wouldn't own a car because you wouldn't leave your car outside because you'd be scared somebody was going to steal it. You know, you wouldn't leave your house in case somebody broke in and stole it. The way I see it is you need to take risks. They need to be calculated risks, but if you're going to get anywhere at all in anything, then you've got to take risks. Another session on my soap. This session I'm on my soapbox about theft and intellectual property. Last session I was on my soapbox about glue traps and things. Oh dear. Oh well, it is what it is. This is real life, real stream. Basically, I just see these streams as you guys coming round to my house for a bit of a natter and a cuppa. Although I don't have tea anymore. That reminds me, I need to collect my manatee from on the floor.
You found it then, did you?
On what?
His manatee.
No, that's a manta ray. My manatee is a tea tray now. I'm on to the Red Bull rip-off energy drink now. It's 8:15 at night, so this will be my last caffeine for the night. That just keeps looking like it. Right. And what about 15-20 minutes before I need to go and make some food before apprentice. Let's try this noise. Probably can't see this much, and I can't actually see it much in real life until I lift it up and it shines, but it gives it a bit of dimension. Oh, I was going to do some stamps too, wasn't I? Right, let's get to Sticker Nation and try not to knock you guys up. Oops, that was something then. No, paper trimmer. Pad off the drawer unit. Caught it with my knee. Try not to bounce you guys around too much and knock you sick. I'm on the shelf above you. trying to jump off at me now. See if there's anything apt there. Well, that's what else I was going to do. Did it smell nice in your car? Did it? Anybody still with me? Have you all gone for your late afternoon naps now? In the next time zone, it's nap time, isn't it? And of course, babies will need to come out right at the end too. But we're nearly done here, I think. Nearly done. That's been another Charles on here, but it's been rabbit holes, rabbit trails, rabbit. So I'm going to go round and try and make this pop, I think, with some black. These are Colour Pep smoothies. They're basically gelato rip-offs, but cheap ones. And I like them. They work just as well from what I can tell. I'll go around it with a black one. Right, let's see. We'll do that last because that's messy. So let's... Oh, and stamping. I need to speed up. Oh, here they all are. Obviously all arching along or something along. Right. What random quote should we put? I could print one off really, couldn't I? Or write one off. No. Let's sticker. We've wasted enough time today faffing around. What sticker there's? No, those little ones are. Let's have a look at the more convoluted ones first. I can never remember what's in this book, and then I get it and I think, oh, that's a good one for this. That's a good one. I know there's a bit of glare, sorry. Apply knowledge to the situation. Ask me about my brilliant hypothesis. That's quite apt for this stream, isn't it? Or rather, don't ask me. I'll just spout stuff at you. Me, not me. Don't be harsh on the newbies. I've been quite well behaved for the newbies. Only traumatised Laura for one evening with the thought of rats, and then she actually met them, and it was all for nothing. New connection. Fundamental shifts. Go green. Hone your craft by volunteering. Monster Rifts echo eternally. Right, alright then, if you say so, book. Preparation leads to luck. Anybody see one they fancy? If you can read it from there. Stop the mad rush to consume it all. There are stars in our eyes. We have the technology. You can count on your imagination. You can't stop rock and roll. I need to do a page inspired by that. I do that every time. When I come there, I think, yep, I need to do a page. You can't stop rock and roll. And I will do one. But that's not the right one. You can count on your imagination, maybe? Will that be a good one? I'm liking count on your. You can count on your imagination. Although I haven't had much today because I'm brain dead from the early start. I spend hours going through this book and still not find one. Accept advice? No. Agree to disagree? No. All is art. That's quite a good one, isn't it? All is art, maybe. Do we feel all is art or the imagination one? Considering I was a bit of a downer on this to start with. I reckon all is art, you know, guys. What do you think? Has everybody gone to sleep again? Obviously, there's the lag. A lovely, lovely lag. Oh, what executive decision? Yeah, all is art. We're doing it. What's fine, Dorothy? You have to elaborate a bit. I don't know what's fine. I've given a couple of suggestions. Right, yeah. All is art. That will do. Slap it on and call the quote done. I don't always put a quote on them, but I feel this needs something. Like I say, I did colour this page in case I wanted something else over there, but no, not with the butterflies now. It's too busy. And I'm going to go around this and pop this out in a minute, but it's going to be messier, so I need to get this on here. So I'm really bad. I always cut off the stickination bit under here. Eileen is behaving badly. That's a behaviour. You didn't specify what kind of behaviour you were wanting her to do. I don't like the stickination bit. Well, it's not that I don't like the stickination bit. It's not the stickination bit. Oh, these stickers are so sticky, which I love when it's time to stick them down, but I hate when I'm cutting them down. It's the huge oh, it's not going to work very well, is it? It's the huge empty black bit at the bottom that's not at the top. I don't like it. It's not balanced. I probably need some glue then. Yeah. Sorry, I'm off screen. I'm trying to. Yeah, but like I said, Dorothy, you didn't specify what kind of behaviour that she needed. So she is behaving, just badly, which is probably actively encouraged on my. Oh, I balls that up now. Which is actively encouraged in my threads, in my streams, because then it's not just me that's behaving badly. Safety in numbers. Oh, is he sticking myself in knots here? No, at least I didn't ban you, CV. Z managed to ban Jennifer last night. She was supposed to be modding her, but instead she banned her. And Jean had to save the day and step in and be modded, carefully modded and not banned, and unban her. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a right sticky mess here. Oh, another bit under there. Get out. Get off of me. Oh, that's not straight, is it now? Oh, too late. I've stuck it down. Oh no, it comes off of that quite easy then. Just not me. No, I don't have any mods. It doesn't seem to reach the giddy heights here that it does in other streams that I'd need one. I'll just employ Lilitha for crowd control if need be. She'll sort you all out. Or clear off and do her own thing and leave you to it, more than likely, but... Where's my wet baby wipe? Is that a wet one? No. There it is. It's all sticky off me. Done with this page now, can you tell? Had enough now. Alright, oh, this didn't stick very well, did it? But hey, it's better than it was. Right. This is the Hobbycraft one, so I think this is the best of the two evils. The other one I've got, I think, is a Dovecraft one. I need to... Oh, you do stamping, don't you, Eileen and CB? There wasn't really anybody here that did a lot of stamping to recommend to me earlier. What ink is good for journaling that dries nice and quickly and easy? What make? And that's just fingers crossed that it's not something that's not available in the UK. I find this either smears or it takes ages to dry. Well, at least one of these inks do. I can't remember which ink it is. What work are you having done, CB? They're certainly taking the time. Yeah, stamping ink. Stamping ink. The boxes like this, the pads. I can't remember what they were called then. But they're certainly taking their time, CB. They probably could have built you a new house at this rate. I want to invest in some bigger colours because I have this little Hobbycraft one, all these little coloured inks, and these are great for little. I got this when I was mainly doing it in my planner and my journal, you know, for the little tiny icon ones, which is great. But for the bigger images that I now sometimes use in journaling, especially if I can manage to invest in some more background stamps, they are not going to cut it. But I want to get a decent one that's not going to take hours to dry. Archival by Ranger. Okay, thank you. I shall have a look for that when I next go to Hobbycraft, or when I next put an order in online anywhere, or my local art shop, or wherever I'm going. This is getting everywhere, isn't it? Because I think it was the other one I used when I used my rat stamps and I did some keys on my art cards, my ATC, well, art card sized ATCs. and it was on top of acrylic, obviously, and they took so long to dry. Even with the heat gun, it took literally overnight to dry properly before I could do anything else on top of them, and even then they were still smeary to the touch. And not just putting anything on top of them, you know, even like just touching them with your finger, it would still smear a bit. Getting a bit carried away with this one, but I like it. One more. Yes, I'm not sure if you're going to see it in here, but I like this little stamp. It's like a postage stamp. See if I can get a clear one for you to see. Yeah, I'm not a great stamper. You can obviously either draw something in the middle, or the set comes with it's a 300, whether that's cents, pounds, what it is. And in the tin there's little circus set. And there's lots of, mainly I use this for Hannah or what do you call it, journal, Hobonichi style. But there's little stamps that you can then fit in the middle. So, make your own stamp. So there you have, I don't know if you'll be able to see it clearly enough, a pig with a party hat on in your stamp, which is quite cool. Stays on, stars on, won't move after it dries. Okay, I will, in a minute, I shall write those down, and I know what to look for now. Where did my pig in a party hat go? There he is. So yeah, this is a cool little fun stamp, and it also comes with 2 other borders that you can use. Oh no, that's not the pig I use, that's a clown pig. I use the pig in the party hat. Oh no, that's a bear in a party hat. But these have been in the cupboard near the radiator, and I think the radiator, the warmth from the radiator, has ungummed the rubber from the foam, so I had to glue this one back on badly. I have to do a better job of it, and then night night Mika, sleep well. I usually say have a good day at school, but you're not going tomorrow, are you? So see you tomorrow. Yeah, this is a cool little set. Circus One stamp collection. I'm not sure who it's by. Oh, it's Japanese or Chinese of some sort. Like many of my planner things. I'll get my little notebook and make a note of the inks in a minute. This is why I need to make my dory so I can have it here. Well, that's a good idea. Can glue them on Word. I say I'm not overly bothered about it. Either glue it back on, or because it still is a bit sticky, I can always put it on the block, or just use it as it is. I say I'm not a huge stamper. Mainly only like, that's why most of mine are little, because they're only for like my little Hobonichi journal and planner. Well, that's what they were bought for, and even then I tend to forget to use them, and just my stickers are my go-to. Smells like almond actually. Yum. I'd be using it all the time though. So last night I was doing this with Sharpie, and this is all Sharpie, and because the light's bad in the evening where I sit, and my eyes aren't great in the evening either, I was getting closer and closer to it, and the fumes, it was, first of all, it started making me quite giddy and high, and then it started to make me nauseous. So I had to have a break from... Oh. Not sure if this is going to work, but we'll have a go. Oh yeah, that is going to... And because there's acrylic on there, I can wipe it back off of the bit that I don't want it to be on. Well, that's the... Not with that one I can't, because that one's dry. But with the wet one I can. Well, that's going to be a problem when we get to the flowers. I've got an idea. No. Actually, if it gets on it, it gets on it. It's not the end of the world, is it? No, it's not time to be precious. Is that making it stand out anymore? Is that looking even more of a hot mess? Can't decide. Never mind, let's go with it now. Yeah, never ever been anything, Eileen, you bad girl. Always a fib that will gladly take things off your hands. I might go back around these in white to pop them back out. Yeah, Kerry's due to come on in 20 minutes, Eileen, from the time she told me, but I'm nearly done anyway and had enough ready to call it a day. I've been doing on this for a long time now. And I want to watch The Apprentice and get in my pyjamas and make food. And relocate to the cosy sofa. I'm not sure I'm going to get in there. But if I am... Oh, you can't see what I'm doing, can you? Get a bit dark down here, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. I can refine it a bit more and get some more white in there. Yeah, Dorothy, I just want something to lift this off the page, you know, to make it, because at the minute I feel that it all blends in. So that's all I'm doing is putting some black round, and then I might go back round in white to pick out the bits that have got lost. But yeah, that's what I'm doing now is some black gelato type thing around the edge to make the picture pop and differentiate it from all the colours that are going on in the background. But if Kerry is booting now, I think I'm going to finish that later. Because I guess there's some of you. Don't know if Iffy's still here. Calling Iffy. Calling Iffy. Calling Miss Iffy. Miss Petka. Laura went, didn't she? Anybody else who's a baby fan? Okay, CB, I'm just finishing up now anyway. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sticking with me. It's been a fun evening. I shall see you later. Yep, let's put that away for them. No, leave it out because otherwise I won't remember to finish it, will I? Well, that can stay there. Let's move this though. Put these away. Guess I shall forget those. Thank you everybody for coming and for sticking with me through all 3 parts and not giving up like I almost did. And I shall see you all at Kerry's in a little while. Although I'm not literally going just yet. I'm going to get the babies if anybody wants to see them. And if there is a request for the babies, then this is your 3-minute rat warning. So anybody that not that way inclined, this is my goodbye to you. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you in the next box. Oh yeah, quick show for anybody that, yeah, this is the almost finished page. I just need to finish going around doing the black in gelato to make it lift out a bit, but I've got fed up with that now. I will finish it later, and then I will take a picture and show it. So yeah, all is art. And there we go. Right. State of this. Really do need to get a new one. Find something cute. So, be right back with some vermin. George is having me on. Went past the cage last night and I can hear chewing. The 3 are lined up at the cage. Who's eating dry food? George. I've still got her breakfast and her lunch today though. Come on, I know you were ready nearly 3 hours ago, but it's time to come now. If you'd like to come. You would have to. My baby is come to explain, please. Come on, Georgie. 3 of us here. Sit still until we get there, please, and do not be going straight behind the laptop because that is bad. See if I can prop that there to make a baby barrier. Oh, they're going to jump over the top of it, aren't they? Here's a lily. One lily rat. Yeah, she's going straight round it and chucking it on the floor. I should have known that would happen, shouldn't I? They love it behind there. One old lady Peppa Pig. One Iris. And you've been Grace today because she's getting really antisocial in her old age, but old lady George Pig asked to come out. You can see how much weight she's lost. Those that know her and maybe haven't seen her for a couple of weeks. So she wanted to come and see everybody, but now they're all behind the Oh no, Heather! Are you okay? Are the dog's okay? Is Alfie okay? Heather's doggy Alfie is a King Charles Cavalier. He ran out into the road by accident and got hit by a truck or a bus and he's broken his pelvis in 2 places. Oh, that's right. I'm trying to move stuff so I can collect babies back to stop them being so damn rude. There we go. There's a Peppa Pig. There's one. They just want to go and hang out behind the laptop because it's nice and warm behind there and they're making a nest and a house and, you know, they'll come out occasionally and steal stuff to take back there. They're not that big, really. Peppa's really quite small for a rat. Filthy tails because they haven't cleaned their tails. I'm going to get on them this week when they get cleaned out and scrub their tails for them. You're not on camera, Peppa. I know you're sitting there for fuss with Mummy. I know. Mummy can't get closer to the table. Let me lean over the table a bit more. See, there we go. She's trying to push up to me. No, I don't have anything. Oh, I do have your... Oh, I did have your treats here. I think that's what I knocked on the floor now. But you never want your treats anyway. You're never interested in the treats. Hi, Georgie. Oh, you coming back? You can see the, if she'll let you, the scab still on her face a bit from where her abscess was and how skinny she is now. And she's obviously, the wonk is nothing new. She's always been wonky since she was a baby. But she's old lady Georgie, but she seems to have come to terms with that there's no more medicine at the minute, so she's back to being sociable. Or maybe not. Can you see George?
She's on your chair.
Oh, is she? Okay. She's just going to go and explore the sofa if she gets half a chance. Now, Peppa seems to be good at her audience, but the other girls have gone. Yeah, you sit there, Georgie. Come on, Lil. No, do not pull that out. Lily's trying to pull the USB out that belongs to the camera from the side of the laptop. And now Iris is going to have a go with it. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. Here's Iris. She's back. She's not happy about being back because she wants to be in her little house behind the laptop, underneath the laptop stand. Oh, here's Lily. What have you got on you? Paper. Oh, they're stealing yoggies. These are their yoggie treats. The green ones are apple and the red ones, the pink ones are berry. And they're stealing them and making a pile underneath their house. Oh no, and Iris is now sat here chewing a sponge. You can chew the sponge if you really want to, if you're set on camera to show people. You can chew the sponge if that's going to keep you nice and still. There you go. Do you want a sponge to chew? Yeah, she's gonna shred my sponge, but at least you can see her shredding the sponge. This is normal Iris behaviour. That's okay, Heather. It's all recorded, and this page should have taken me sort of a couple of hours, and it's taken me 5 hours because I'm so disorganised and everything was going wrong. And Iris is going to steal some scissors. Here comes Pep again. George is sat on my shoulder, by the way. She's decided she's not playing with everybody else because they're mean to her. And they always have. That's nothing new, though. She's always been the bottom of the pecking order as, no, get out of there. That is wet paint. You are not finger painting. Iris just thinks she might finger paint gold all over the other computer screen. She's wonky too. She has a ear infection when she was a baby, and she was bought from the pet shop and she was returned because as soon as she got sick they didn't want her and didn't want to pay her vet bills, so she was just discarded and returned, and the pet shop didn't want her either, and her sister came with her as collateral damage, so they now live here. Where is Lily? You've hardly seen her, have you? Because she's being busy. I say she's earning her name at the minute, Lillifer. Lillifer, the version of Lucifer. Here she is, Madam Lillifer. She looks piebald at the minute, as I can't remember who pointed out on Tuesday, but she's not piebald. She's just molting and getting her winter coat, and her undercoat's white, so she looks like she's piebald, but she's not. She has got a full coat of fur. It's just it happens to be the fur underneath that's coming through is the white undercoat that's coming through before the orange fluff comes through on top. And of course her big fat belly's white. Look at it. This is what comes from stealing George's baby food all the time. Big fat, it doesn't work. Big fat belly. You're not happy, Lil? No. You want to be busy. Say hello to your fans. No. She doesn't want to say hello. Don't want to say hello. Yeah, darling, my rats like pink. Quite all they're in their shelf. They've got some the cage is white with there's a few white shelves that came with it, but all the ones that I've added are pastel pink, and they have quite a lot of pink bedding when I get my way, and purple and lots of animal print, leopard print. Pink and leopard print usually they have quite often. Another Iris. They're all on my shoulder now because George is up there and they're annoying George, apart from Iris is here. Poor George. I say she's always been at the bottom of the, no matter, she's lived with other incarnations, say, because she's 2 now. You leave George alone. She's snuggling. Thank you, Lillifer. Yeah, she's lived with various other rats throughout the years. At least 4 or 5 others over the last 2 years that have now all passed on. And she's always been at the bottom of the pecking order. Always, poor George. I'm saying Pepper succeeded as Alpha Rat about 6 months ago. And now she's getting on. You can see she's looking more and more elderly. She's fading more and more. And although she's not acting overly elderly, I must say, but she's starting to drop a bit of weight too, you can see. Okay. And Lily's just taken that sponge and run off with it. So that's gone. Pepper's working on stealing yogis and running off with them. And making a right pile underneath the laptop. Yes, we're having presidential elections of our own here now between Iris and Lily. Who's going to overthrow Pepper? Or so they think. Not sure if they're going to succeed just quite yet, but they think they might do. How long do they live? 2 to 3 years, Di. Here's Georgie. George is still quite dark, you see. They start off with quite a dark solid stripe. These are called roans, and they've got these are Dumbos. They've got ears on the side of their head, these two, as opposed to top ears. And then as they get older, they go lighter. They roan out. Oh, sorry, upside down, baby. Sorry, upside down, baby. You're not as steady on your feet as you used to be, are you, with your wonky bit? They get lighter, but George is kept quite dark. So these are, from a breeder, you can usually get a good 2.5, 3 years. But these are all pet shop rejects in one way or another. George and Pepper were dumped at the vets with their mother a few days old 2 years ago. Obviously been sold as a pregnant rat from a pet shop and had babies. They didn't want it, so they dumped them on the vets. And so the other two were Cookie, who I had previously. She was from said pet shop when it first moved into town, I think. And they managed to trap her tail in the cage, the people who bought her. And instead of pay for her vet's bills, took her to the vets and left her on the doorstep. So the vets always contact me and ask me, can I take in any rats, even if I rehome them? That's what I do. So anyway,
Okay.
now it's time to put them away and go and get some food and watch The Apprentice. And Kerry should be on any minute now, if she's not already. So thank you all for coming so much and sticking with me. And yeah, I've got to clear out the baby mess behind there, because they've got a pile of yogis behind there now, my sponges and whatever else they've stolen while I wasn't looking. But yeah, all these are rescues at the moment. I do have breeder ones occasionally, but most of my breeder friends that used to breed stopped to breed small humans, so they're not breeding currently. So I need to find a new breeder to so I can have some tiny babies, unless some rescues come in, tiny baby rescues come up. It's time I had babies again. I haven't had tiny babies for 2 years now. Pepper and George were the last babies we had. All the others that have come in the meantime have been either teenager or adult already. Haha, Pep, no, I've put the lid on. So yes, it's time for babies. Get out of there, that's water. And thank you for coming. I'm going to stop my recording and I'll see you all in the box. Bye guys. Somebody's on a poo on me or something.